Hi, YouTube. Okay, so getting into our final session 0, session 1 with Wisp. Say hi, Wisp. And going over their character, could you tell me your character's name and just a little bit about him for the recording?
My character's name is ardere. She is a reading consumption ASMR. She's roughly 19 years of age and has an almost doll-like appearance. Her proportions are slightly too perfect, giving her kind of an uncanny valley effect when you look at her. She is flavored to be biosculpted. So she's sort of like a bio-construct, not necessarily a true ASMR. Her skin is white, and it's slightly translucent, that has like a navy blue hue to it, and almost seems like it's covered in a very light sheen of like a golden mica. So when it catches the light at a right angle, it almost looks a little bit metallic. Her hair is a navy color, darker than her skin, and it hangs about halfway down her back. She doesn't tend to style it much, but rather just brushes it and let it falls as it wants to. Her irises are golden, and they tend to swirl like a pigment when it's mixed in water. Tends to get a bit more turbulent with her emotions, and it's rarely static. Sort of like windows into the magic inside her soul. Her cheeks and nose are dotted with little spatterings of gold freckles that shine when she blushes. She's on the smaller side, only measuring about 5'4" in height, and her build is petite, and she is quite delicate when you first see her, kind of breakable. She has quite a few sort of distinguishing factors about her. The big one being she has a golden halo that floats above her head, and matching golden rings around her neck, her arms, and her ankles that could very easily be mistaken for jewelry, but they glow faintly with magic, and they sort of hum with it as if you touch them. But she tends to keep them quite hidden. She is a artificer that also has 2 levels of wizard.
Delightful. Thank you very much. We move into things properly as we arrest easily on a scene of a tall-ish man in a lab coat with a small clipboard in front of him, looking between that clipboard, a small panel of buttons in front of him, one for a speaker, one to unlock the door, one for a few other things, then looking up at the girl in the room in front of him, the rings covering her body, sort of being near freshly, I'll say, planted there as we see him press the intercoms and go, I think we might need another one. There was a small issue last week. Let's try and keep this thing under control. And you see 2 people walk in the room with yet another ring that feels like having an entire layer of clothing be put on you. As they worm around, just quickly surrounding you and clicking that bolt around your left ankle and leaving the room in a way that is almost too quick not to be assumed to even a little bit be out of fear. He presses the intercom again and goes, all right, thank you. Now, you will try again. There's a base in the middle of the room. He presses another button, a small panel on the floor opens up, and a simple crystal inside of a glass case rises from the floor. And he goes, go ahead then. See if you can power that. We just want to test output currently. Last week you were at 6.5. Let's try and get to 8 by the end of today. Commence testing. Go. And you can see him just stand back up, his eyes shaded by that glass. When at first you remember that glass being a one-way mirror, but since that time, since you've been here for so very long, it has been replaced time and time again until it is just the strongest glass that they could possibly afford. What would you like to do?
She sort of just stares at him for a moment.
He stares back blankly, his face expressionless, but seemingly disappointed.
That disappointment isn't anything new. It's
Most definitely
an
not.
expression she's quite used to seeing. She sort of looks down at the ring on her ankle and gives it a little shake,
It jingles
getting used
slightly.
to the feeling.
Yeah.
She's tired though. It's the same thing. And she knows better than to make things more difficult than they need to be. And she just sighs. Well, I suppose we have to get it over with.
I suppose so. Please, commence as you were instructed.
You're so bossy today. I really do wish you would just say please every now and then. I am still alive, you know that, right?
He pressed the intercom. That is still yet to be proven. Commence.
She just rolls her eyes at him. Yeah, whatever you say. She takes a couple steps towards the crystal.
It immediately begins to illuminate. A small red panel blinking, one of 10 lights on the wall on the left side. Sorry. He nods, seemingly satisfied.
She lifts her arm and lifts her hand and rubs the side of her arm like there's an invisible chill that she's trying to warm up, and she just slowly takes a couple more steps towards it.
You can see the second bulb begin to flicker, but you know by now you can walk right up and touch the thing without it actually reaching a mark of 2.
She steps up to it and gives it a little pat. Hello, old friend. I guess we're at it again.
It immediately marks up to 2 as you touch it, and as soon as you remove your hand from it, it goes back down to the second bulb, just flickering slightly.
I wonder if this is what having a pet feels like. Oh well. I suppose. Let's light you up. She places first her one hand down and then her second hand over it.
Yeah, can you go ahead and give me an Arcana check, please? With advantage.
Of course. $26.
26. Wow. You put both your hands on it, in just the action of actually connecting with this thing, it shoots up the marks on the thing. Bing, 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 all the way up to 5. You can see the first bulb glowing even brighter. The second one slightly increasing, but that first bulb, it almost looks like it's getting hot. But as it raises up to 5, he just presses on the intercom and goes, "Good, proceed. I know you can do much better than this. As you would wish, I would say, don't leave me hanging." And he releases the intercom button. You can see he turns to talk to somebody else. A woman with blonde hair walks in. She looks maybe wood elf or half elf, but the glass is slightly distorted. You threw a chair against it last week when he told you to simply power down, which is not something you're able to do. And you can see she's immediately, like, argumentative with him. They don't seem quite too friendly.
A little smirk pulls at the corner of her lips. Well, suppose I can do better. She sort of just watches for another moment.
As he can see that you're not taking any actions, you're just sort of watching his conversation that you can't hear. You see the one with the blonde hair leave the room in a huff. You can feel the shake in the wall as she slams the door. He just rubs the bridge of his nose gently, leans back over, presses the intercom button, and goes, "Please, continue."
Yeah. So, the morning.
If you would like to enhance the next Arcana check you can make, you can add spell slots directly proportional at a simply like 1-to-1 ratio of the amount of bulbs you would like to light up before making your Arcana check. You will be rolling flat, not with advantage this time, but just tell me what you would like to do.
Sure. We can expect a spell slot.
How many?
I think maybe we were at 5, yeah?
Yes, you were at 5. You rolled a 26, so that would be 5.
And he wanted to get it up to
8.
Let's expend 3 spell slots. 3 first levels.
3 first level spell slots.
Just for fun.
You don't worry about the actual like math of these spell slots. Just like what spell level essentially. So yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead and give me another Arcana check.
Wrong one.
Nice.
24.
Okay, that gets you to 8. You get closer, you focus, put your hands on either side of this glass as you see that crystal in the middle glow brightly as a bit of flecks of gold light go from your hand into this crystal. Immediately, 8 bulbs light up. The 8th one just slightly dim. And he nods, sort of waiting to see just how long you can hold this for. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw. Or an Intelligence saving throw if you would prefer.
Let's see.
Nice. Yeah. You last a full 2 minutes with just powering these bulbs with nothing but sheer magic. And as bit by bit you can feel your head get lighter, you know you can keep going if you expend more spell slots, but you got to 8. He should be satisfied. And after you sway back slightly and the palms of your hands disconnect from it, it's still at that number, but as soon as it starts showing a sort of physical distress, presses the intercom and goes, "That's enough. We will move on to other things for today." Taps it. You can see puts on a thicker coat, does it up, and walks out of the sort of observation room as you are just left there, as you quite often are.
I wish for once that was enough and I could just be left alone. She just walks back to the wall, slides her back down, and sits with her arms curled around her knees and waits.
Yeah. If you would like to open the map, we have that. The session has started. Since we're using D&D Beyond, you will just go into your character sheet. Okay. You will need to complete the character sheet, but just like make a level 1 anything and move forwards. And then there should be a play button somewhere on the screen. That being said, it is a few more moments. Maybe it's hard to tell. There aren't any windows here. But eventually a woman with blue hair and slightly lighter blue skin, covered in trinkets and bobs, opens the door, gives you a sort of embarrassed wave. You can tell she's not too happy today, but, well, she never exactly looks pleased to see you. Whether that is out of embarrassment for what she's doing to you, or out of just general discomfort, you are not quite able to tell. If you would like to, for today specifically, you can make an insight check, but Otherwise, she will just begin setting out a number of objects in front of her from a sort of handbag that she always carries with her. It's a brown, sort of, I'd say maybe like an oak color.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Gail.
Hello.
And what have you cooked up for me today?
We are continuing our work today. We are moving forwards with the exploration of duplication, of conjuration and transmutation. I have asked for a special moment of permission. Could you hold your hands out, please? You can hear a deep twinge of fear in her voice as she speaks.
I suppose so. Why? What exactly do you want to do? I would prefer if you told me first.
We are going to take some of the safety precautions that we've had to take with you and remove them to test if the diminishing returns are at a consistent and trending rate, or if they are at a simply consistent rate and they will continue to provide the same amount of protection to our staff.
So you're taking my rings?
We are going to remove 2 of them, yes. Please,
Okay.
hands forward.
She holds her hands out.
You can see her hands shaking as she clicks small buttons on the insides of the rings. She has to get, under them, and they're quite tightly fastened. This is extremely uncomfortable as she just clicks them slightly, and they fall off. Immediately, 4 of the lights turn on, and you can see her face, although it is blue, go a little white. She takes a cautious and uncomfortable step back. She just goes, how? Oh, nope. How are you feeling? Well, more accurately, please describe the changes to your physical form.
I think this is the first time you've ever asked me how I feel. It's really sweet of you.
It is on the document for today's information. I need to ask this, and I need you to answer. Please.
Well, she sort of folds her legs, crisscross applesauce kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
And stares down at her hands for a moment.
They feel better. It's like more joints were put into your body. It's like somebody finally took a very heavy weighted blanket off of you.
She turns her hands palm up and then back to look at the back of her hands. I can't say anything much has changed.
Okay.
I do think my hands look better without the rings, though.
I cannot speak on whatever opinions you believe you have. I am here to teach. I am here to observe. Let us begin. And you see she's held out a bunch of simple, mundane magical items, a bag of holding, a immovable rod, a goggles of night vision, cap of water breathing, shoes of water walking, boots of springing, simple stuff. You can see all the way at the end is a ring of protection, which is, I believe, in this sort of laid out splay of items, the only one that is not an artificer infusion. She goes, I would like you to hold one of these items, whichever one you please, in your hand, and attempt to replicate it. Please.
Since you said please, what could I refuse? So she kind of just unfurls herself and walks over to where the magic items are.
Yeah.
Randomly picks one up.
Yeah, of course. I assume you did take the replicate magical item infusion. I did see that.
Mm-hmm.
So just do what artificers do. Replicate said magical item.
She goes for the goggles of night
Yeah.
and picks them up, sort of turning them over in her hands. So, how exactly do you want me to do that? Am I supposed to just
Magically.
wiggle my fingers and make a new one appear, or are you actually going to give me something to make these myself?
Well, what materials do you believe you require?
She sort of like glances at them, holding them up, looking to like, I think maybe some brass or the general structure of things. I think that would look nice.
Yes,
And
we can approve that.
yeah, and maybe some sort of accent metal. I'll leave that up to you.
That
Something for the strap, maybe some kind of leather. That would be nice.
we can approve elastic
For the
and fabric. We are not permitted to give you flammable objects anymore.
leather's not flammable.
It is in your hands. At high...
A lot of things are in my hands. Including this.
You can see she kind of, like, steps back at that, whether intentionally or otherwise, the sense of fear she feels around you has been heightened.
Can you make it sound like I'm dangerous? I'm really not.
You are. Quite. You are incredibly dangerous. It is not my job, but it is part of my responsibilities to make sure that the staff and myself are well protected. And leather, while not typically flammable, can combust and be reduced if presented with extreme heat and radiant energy. So we are unable to approve that. I can get you plastic.
I mean, have you ever tried to light plastic on fire?
It
That stuff really sticks to your skin when you burn it.
I have not. I do not believe that is ever something I have come across. What kind of glass do you require for the lenses?
Um, that was a very nice change of subject, by the way. Tempered would be nice. And maybe, maybe something strong enough so that I can etch some runes into it too to give the magic a little bit of an oomph.
We are not permitted to give you anything that could be used as a weapon. We can provide a small portion of additional brass in order to create markings on the double paned glass. We could provide you with tempered. We are just simply out. We had to use the last of it for the repairs last weekend. When you
She kind of pouts a little.
you can see as you just even just that small movement of like shifting your body, she flinches and just nods slightly. He goes, I will be back. I will return. Do not do anything, and bolts out of the door.
This is, of course, the exact opportunity where she does something.
Well, yes, that would make sense.
You know, why tell somebody not to do something and then leave them alone with really cool gadgets? That's just asking for trouble, obviously. She kind of wanders her way down the little line of magic items, picking up a couple, weighing them in her hand.
Yeah.
And then stops at the ring of protection on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello, you. You are new. Before she picks it up and slips it on her finger.
Awesome.
Now you are a different kind of ring. I've never had a ring on my finger before.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, please.
A perception. I have 6.
Damn. Oh, a crit.
Not
You
20.
see in the corner of your room a typically inert series of cameras, but there's one in each sort of opposite corner of the wall. There's only 2 in this room, but some of the other rooms you are brought into, there is anywhere from 4 to 11 is the most you've been able to count. But once it gets past 6, any additional camera just kind of feels unnecessary. But you can see that both of them a small red light begins blinking as you see two people in the room in front of you. Appears to be the man who was there earlier and the woman who was just here in this room. They are not talking, just watching the screens facing away from the glass.
She sort of squints. Tossing a slight glance down at the ring, then back at Kellen and Gale behind the glass. Then at the other magic item.
Mm-hmm.
Before literally skipping her way back to the goggles of night, picking them up and making her way to the glass in front of her between them, holding them up to Gale and going, I could just use this glass. It would work pretty well. I broke the other one. I could just do it again.
She does not turn to face you. The taller man from earlier does. He taps on it. You can hear it just reverberate throughout your room. Presses the intercom and goes, I don't think that's quite possible. This is magically reinforced tempered glass. We are not permitted to give you any sharp objects. As you were instructed, interact with these items. See what you can create from them. Break them down. Whatever you must. Do something.
She kind of just bangs her forehead against the glass like a really annoyed teenager.
Are you trying to break the glass?
No, you would know if I was trying to break the glass. This is me trying not to break you.
He just nods cordially. Goes back to looking at the cameras.
You could just kind of look at me instead of looking at me through the camera. I'm right here.
No response.
Fine. Could I at least have some kind of tinkering tools? You want me to make something, I need tools to make something. You don't have to come in the room. I can't hurt you if you're not in the room.
He turns around, presses the intercom button, just says, I know that is false. I will be there shortly. He leaves, seemingly to go get Tinker's tools. As he does so, you see the other woman leave as well.
She just gives her a wave through the glass. Bye-bye now.
Terrifying. Go ahead and give me a luck check, please. Just a D20 roll.
Okay.
Okay, 14's pretty good.
14.
As you are just waiting, sort of twiddling your feet, slumped up against the wall somewhere, you hear something break, and all of the bulbs turn off. You can see the crystal that has been there just shake slightly. The whole apparatus, the podium, the glass case, and the crystal itself all just shake slightly as you hear something break beneath the floor.
She quickly stands up to her feet and quickly glances around the room, checking to see if the glass is broken, if there's any danger coming, if there's a way to get out, if there's somebody approaching.
It does not seem so. And a few moments later, the man from earlier walks back in the room, tosses loosely a set of tinker's tools at you. Then he nods. Somebody hands him a metal chair. He moves it inside, just turns to them and says, "And the desk is coming shortly, yes? Good. I find information is better gathered when I am closest to my subject." And he just pulls that chair.
What happened? Like, what did you do? Sorry.
I, based on what you had said earlier about your complaints of life, have commissioned the construction of a small metal desk so that you are able to entertain yourself and construct what we have asked of you in a more timely and appropriate manner. Consider it a gift. He pulls the chair in
No.
and just sits down in the room with you.
You really shouldn't have.
You have your tools. Work.
Fine.
As
Could I get some paper and maybe a pen so I can sketch out a design?
does not need to be designed, it needs to be constructed. You have one in front of you. Take it apart.
Kind of bats her eyelashes. Pretty, please.
Absolutely no response. He just scowls at you.
You know, Faces says that if you frown for too long, you can get it stuck on your face and that you'll look that way forever. You really shouldn't frown like that.
You just hear him sigh heavily. He says, "We have a limited amount of time for this. Please get to work."
She scoops up every single one of the magic items and drags them into a corner with her, along with the Tinker's tools.
Of course.
And starts pulling them all apart.
Go ahead and give me a Tinker's Tools check with advantage. Your Tinkerer's Tools check should be at a kind of insane bonus. Oh, yep, that tracks. So with a dirty 20, you are able to just find those little weak points in these simple items. You just twist and they kind of pop or fall apart, each little bit giving you just a tiny bit more resources. As after you get a certain amount of ways underway, you've sort of given the Goggles of Night a decent amount of work. You're missing a few crucial pieces. He comes over, puts two well-sized glass lenses in front of you. Just, the desk will be here soon, and after that, it's lights out. Just sits back down, keeps watching, taking notes on his clipboard.
She decides that replicating an item is... she can do it.
Mm-hmm.
She knows how to do it.
Yes.
And she doesn't want to do it.
Shock. I can't possibly understand why.
But she's been given a bunch of bras and gadgets and doohickeys, and she decides that it is the perfect opportunity for her to get a little creative.
Please, if you will, define a little more what getting creative means.
So, she decides that, well, she's got a lot of magical based components.
This is true.
It would be such a waste to use them on something as basic and boring as just plain old Goggles of Night, right? But if she maybe twisted them a little bit and shaped that bit of metal into a wing, and that bit of metal into a wing, and turned the cogs right, and insert the glass instead of to be lenses, instead to be eyes.
Mm-hmm.
She forms this little clockwork owl that folds itself all neatly into a little bowl, and that with just lightest touch unfurls into your hand.
It's adorable. Am I to assume that this is this is not in character, this is me, the human being, speaking. Am I to assume that this is a homunculus servant?
This is actually her familiar.
Oh. Well, then I'm very sorry about what happens next. The man with the clipboard stands up sharply, the chair pushed back slightly. He looks so disappointed, so fed up with every little thing you choose to do. He just... You were given clear instructions, and yet here we are, as you have once again failed to follow them. Hand it to me now.
She smiles up at him.
That was not a request.
You... The
Another
problem
one of the bombs lights up.
is that she also happened to maybe, just maybe, take the bag of holding apart.
Now, hold on. How would you even take a bag of holding? You see, now I have to take a step back and ask you a real question of how do you do that?
A bag of holding is just a portal to an extra dimensional space.
This is true. So, destroying the
a familiar has its own extra dimensional space. So if you can then infuse that portal of an extra dimensional space into the clockwork familiar, you give it its own extra dimensional space.
So,
ta-da!
You're essentially saying you put that extra dimensional space, rather than having it be able to hold things like a bag of holding, it is now able to sort of conceal your familiar, sort of like unsummoning it?
Yep.
That is incredibly clever.
Thank you.
That I'll say that's how that works. Absolutely.
Bullshit and shenanigans.
Bullshit and shenanigans. What's D&D for? He is going to try and grab it out of your hands. Could I get a grapple check, please?
That is a acrobatics for me, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
DC is 19.
Okay. I was going to ask if I could be... Oops, wrong chat. My bad. I was going to ask if I could be cheeky and
Always.
do a sleight of hand instead.
Yeah, go for it.
Like, for real?
Yeah.
Because there's a big difference in modifiers there.
I am... Well, yeah, that is a pretty big difference. But... He goes to grab it, just swiping at it in hand, and you just move your hand quickly to the side, your little clockwork owl fluttering up. What is its armor class?
I will have to clarify with you if we're using just a classic familiar, fine familiar armor class, or if we're doing something else.
I will allow you to sort of give it benefits based on the items you have just used to construct it. However, nothing too far beyond your typical familiar stat block.
We will then clarify that at a later point. We'll just use a classic owl stat block for now then.
Yes.
Its armor class is 11.
Okay, we'll call that a 12 because of the Ring of Protection. And that's a 19 again. So, correct me if I'm wrong, familiars have one whole hit point, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. He picks a just piece of scrap metal from his pocket and just tosses it very hard and rough. It smacks against the familiar, it cracks into the wall, failing to turn back into a little ball. It shudders for a sec before kind of blipping out of existence. Not in the literal sense of that it no longer exists, in the sense where it is just no longer existing where you are. He just looks down at you and goes, "You will be given the desk tomorrow morning. It is lights out now." And he begins to make his way to the door.
She just glares at her fist, her hands clenched into fists so tight that her nails are digging into the palms of her hands, nearly to the point of bleeding, her knuckles white against her blue skin. She is doing everything in her power to hold back, especially without the golden rings on her wrist.
Most definitely.
Those tinker tools are looking awful sharp right about now.
Terrifying. Yeah. You go. The lights turn off. You are left alone. Everything's still there. You don't even have a bed. Just left there in a dark room. As once again you hear that breaking and that rustling sound. Coming from just underneath the podium, as after one more good crack or bend of metal, you can see the podium fall slightly, but like as if the space under it were removed, not as if it was lowered in any sort of way.
She quickly walks over and takes the last few steps quite slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if she needs to be cautious or not.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
There is no sound, but you can hear a female voice sort of struggling slightly as they just push against it. You just, come on. And no real response to what you said.
Does sorry?
Just continued sounds of pushing against it. He is going to make a strength check. That's a 6. No real headway is made, but you can just see it keep shaking.
Does the voice sound familiar to her?
Quite, in fact.
She wraps her arms around the podium and gives it a
Mm-hmm.
She's never claimed to be strong, but
You got pretty robotic there. Go ahead and say that again, please.
she's never claimed to be strong, and she knows she's not strong, but this is somebody she knows and somebody she cares about, so she's going to help.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and give me a strength check with advantage.
Oh, yes. What?
Ooh.
18.
You just flat
Not
for
bad.
strength?
Yeah, there's no modifier.
Mm-hmm. Sec.
She got a 10 in strength.
That's not bad. And as you lift, just that pushing from the bottom and movement from the top, and as you get the podium up out of it, you see, I believe that would be pronounced Phasey? Phasey do mind. Yes? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Oh, you're getting choppy again. Oh, Discord.
Yeah. I think what's happening.
There we go. Seems to be a little better.
Yeah, I'm only watching stuff. I don't know what's happening.
There we go.
It's faces.
Faces?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see.
Faces do mind.
Faces do mind. Your wizard teacher, the blade singer. You can see she's just staring up at you, a wrench in her mouth and a satchel slung over her shoulder. She just goes, "Hi.
Faye?
Get in here. We're leaving."
Okay.
She grabs the wrench out of her mouth, gets up out of the hole, and just goes, Go! There is no time to explain or say anything. Get down there. It should be a straight tunnel right outside. You will pass by an anti-magic field. It's gonna feel like shit. Just go. And she begins grabbing everything in the room and throwing it into that satchel.
Excellent. Including the crystal on the podium.
Including the crystal on the podium.
If it's detachable.
It would be if somebody were to break the glass. However, that would run the risk of drawing unwanted attention.
Ooh, tempting. Jailbreak with a little extra pizzazz. Fine, we'll do the smart thing. We're playing a smart character. Should leave the crystal.
You would not have left the crystal, is what I'm getting from that.
I would not have left the crystal, no.
And as you dive into that hole, the edges of it are sharp and pressing in. You are cut bit by bit as you move further down and down. Can you go ahead and... Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's unfortunate. Go ahead and take 8 points of slashing damage as you move your way through this hallway. And you can see that Facely is right behind you, just sort of keeping an arm in front, making sure you are traveling at a, I will say, quite a dangerous pace, actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, where are we going, and why
Out.
today?
You would have functionally no way of knowing this, but you're 19 today. Technically and legally, that would make you an adult and a person with autonomy. We're getting out of here because legally speaking, we can't... you're not a child anymore, so legally speaking, you have your own life. I had spoken with the doctor about releasing you, just giving you more to do, and he said he'd give you a desk. So we're getting out. We're leaving.
Have I told you lately that you are the best person in my life?
That is a very short list. I hope I will not stay that. I hope I will not stay the best person in your life for long. Just keep pushing. We have to go. As you get about half or a third of the way down this tunnel, you see the light flick on in your room. Immediately, people are screaming and shouting. You can see someone flash a light down there, and Facely puts a small piece of metal from the ceiling. She just kicks it with the back of her leg, and it falls down, creating a bit of a mirror so they can't see you down here. She goes, "Keep going. We are almost at the anti-magic field. It's meant to stop you. That's why I'm here. I can just keep pushing."
Okay.
It is quite clear that she is not only a decent bit taller and larger than you, also that the sharpness of this tunnel is doing a lot more damage to her than it is to you. Both because it seems as though she was the one to construct it, and also because she had done so quite hastily.
You're bleeding low and you're getting hurt. Can I fix you first? It'll only take 6 seconds.
We have 6 seconds, yes. And she just stops for a moment. You can see like little gashes and wounds just peppering the sort of outline of her body.
Okay. She will cast Cure Wounds on her.
What level?
At as high a level as she can at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So at her current level of 15, it would be level 5.
Damn, yeah. Roll for that. She is absolutely a willing creature.
Okay. That is 5d8 plus 5, yeah.
Believe so.
$39.
Wow. Okay, you see bit by bit as just every little gash and wound on her kind of pushes little bits of metal that just clink, clink, clink onto the floor. And she goes, okay, okay, yeah. Thank you.
Of course.
Let's keep going. You might want to put... No, just keep going. I've got you.
Okay.
And go
She
ahead.
quickly turns her back and keeps going.
Go ahead and take an additional 5 points of damage for me. As in a moment you hit that anti-magic field and feel a wave of dizziness and nausea like nothing you have ever experienced. It is almost like if you took someone who has never been bruised or like gotten seriously injured and then hit them with a small car. And not very quickly. But still the just immediate amount of unprepared and unwarranted, I guess, negative sensory input is enough where you are at risk of going unconscious. Can you go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah. And perhaps regretting not sinking more into calm. Oh, more, that one.
Oh, well, I think you know what happens on that one. You pass out
Why?
immediately. You hit that anti-magic field, and although it does not relinquish all of the magic in you, it is nearly the equivalent of somebody casting the on-off spell on a human being. You just collapse. You still have feeling in your body as you feel Faisley move around you, putting a cloth underneath your body, slowly shimmering it, setting up a small, like, back of it as well, and just pulling you bit by bit past that anti-magic field. Go ahead, take... Oh, you are the luckiest motherfucker alive. Go ahead, take 2 points of damage. For clarification, again, I rolled 2d10, and both of them came up as 1s.
Apparently it was a round of nat ones.
Just a full round of nat 1s there. And as bit by bit you get more accustomed to the anti-magic field, you feel the bands connect back around your wrist as she stops for a minute from pulling you to fasten those on. You move out of the anti-magic field. It takes about 3 minutes. By this time, you know you are being followed down the tunnel. You can not only hear more than 2 people pushing through, you can see the red lights through the floor and hear the blaring of the alarm. She's in front of you, still pulling you as you regain consciousness. Your feet facing the opposite direction as they were when you had gone unconscious. And you can see in front of you a small opening out onto a unassuming and drab parking lot. The sun is high in the sky. It looks as though it is maybe 11:45 a.m.
Mm-hmm. She kind of blinks, trying to shake off the wave of unconsciousness, bring yourself back and readjust back to the dampening of her magic.
Mm-hmm.
Of her, and trying to get her bearings in a place that she's never been in the middle before.
Yeah.
And she goes, wait, how?
It took days. It took a while, but I knew I've been trying to convince him to go public with our research for many years, and he has refused, saying that you weren't ready, you weren't profitable enough, but you're, at the very least, legally speaking, your own now. I have torn up every legal document I can find denoting anything of you. Just, you see, she's still extremely tired and worn, but you see she holds her hand out and grasps at a small dagger that she has in her hand, and she casts Phantom Steed. She just says, "Go, you need to go. Find the city of Daedalus. You will be safe there. I don't know if there will ever be anything like you, and that's half the reason I'm doing this. Run, and don't look back."
She gets up and she doesn't, just come with me. Please come with me.
I can't.
You're not safe. He'll hurt you. Please come with me.
I will meet you in the city of Daedalus at the next descent. You should be, we're about a month's travel away, and they're on a descent right now. I will see you in a year's time. I cannot leave this place like it is. There's the crystal in your room. It was powering a battery that was used to run the factory. Without that power source, it is likely to go into a minor meltdown. I need to be there to save what people I can. Go. Please.
She just wraps her arms around her in a really quick hug.
As you try and pull away from that hug, she grabs you in for just a few more seconds, and before kind of pushing you away and turning back, headed back towards the facility.
In a year. Promise.
She raises her hand. You can see she looks as if she is crying, and just nods and screams back, "In a year. In the flying city." And just breaks into a full sprint. As the horse, the Phantom Steed, begins to walk slowly at first, waiting for you to get on it. But once you do, just absolutely thundering through and out of this parking lot, into the woods, into fields and gardens, past villages that are quiet and abandoned, past leftover factories, bits of the city that they were not able to take with them, as in about a day's travel, also take a long rest. In about a day's travel, you reach the bounds of the city of Daedalus.
She
Yes.
she looks a bit worse for wear.
Quite, I assume.
Um,
However, this is likely the first time you have chosen to take a long rest. So, despite how ragged and off you look at the moment, you feel incredibly well rested.
I think in this moment she's also just, I think, one big bowl of mixed emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So many emotions she hasn't had time to process.
Mm-hmm.
And she's working on, she was given a goal, she's executing the goal. And
As
she can fall apart later.
yeah,
Right now she's got a job.
as you get to in eye shot, I guess, in view, that's the word I was looking for, in view of the city of Daedalus, you can see people begin lifting great poles out of the ground, each the size of a large telephone pole, just wrapped and wrapped in wire, as men in jackets and safety uniforms, big hard hats and those yellow vests, just we're lifting off. It's an hour. We're gonna be on time. Keep going, and just whoomp, whoomp. Large mechanical constructs lifting these great metal poles from the ground, as you can see a kick of dust come from the city of Daedalus. One of these men in the hard hats just peers out to look at you. You see he casts Dimension Door, opening a door in space right in front of you and going, "Girl, are you hurt? Do you live on the city? Do you need... Come. Things are not safe here. It is about to become very dangerous to be underneath the city. Is somebody waiting for you?"
She just shakes her head. No, but I was told that I'd be safe here.
Good. As you will. We'll direct you to the minister's office. He will know what to do with you. Come. It is not safe here. And he brings you back through the Dimension Door as a teleportation circle from a wizard they had with them brings you all up to the city of Daedalus as you see it lift from the ground. Can you go ahead and give me a perception check?
Mm-hmm. "21.
21. Delightful. You look over, and as you see, you can sort of track the path you took in your mind, still slightly able to visualize the dissipating magic of the Phantom Steed. And when you get back to where the factory would be, all you can see is smoke. It is as if that entire section of concrete and field have gone up in a roaring blaze.
He just stares at it, feeling something inside of her break just a little bit. But at the same time, something heal. That maybe the people that hurt her the most got what they deserved, but maybe she also lost the only person that ever showed her kindness. And that innocent people got hurt because of her.
As you're walking, being led by the half-orc in a hard hat and a yellow vest, down through the streets, you see some people chasing after each other. A middle-aged boy, I'd say, chasing after a woman with white hair, a tall man running away from what looks to be some sort of mechanical beast. And you take in for a moment this place, this city of wonder, and feel nothing. The dread and worry of what might have happened or what you know has happened weighing heavy on your mind, even as you are brought to the minister, a high elf who just peers down at you from his tall seat and goes, "Girl, do you have anywhere to be? Anywhere you can be?"
I can't be where I was, and I don't know where I'm going.
Well, then I believe...
just told that this is where I should be.
Well, the sheer glow of you, I suppose we will at least find purpose. What do you do? What is your work, and what is your name?
Well, my name is Ardere.
Audrey. Thank you. And you see he writes that down, not on a clipboard, but on a small piece of cardboard.
She kind of pauses for a moment and does a little moment. Maybe I shouldn't have given him my real name.
It is...
Hello.
Just for the file. Just... Any pursuit is welcome in the city of Daedalus. Be as you are here, and be what you will. What do you do? Are you an artist, builder, construct? You must be something here.
I like to draw.
Artist, then. Quite well. We will set you up with an apprenticeship, which will give you room, board, food, lodging, and an education. Are you amenable to this?
You would just do that for me?
This is the city of Daedalus. In here, all with wings shall fly, and those without will build them. Come. Let me show you to the schoolhouse. And you see, he gets off of his high seat, that demeaning, like, long-faced vizier he had fading away in moments, as he offers you his hand with a tired but cheerful smile.
can't help but just smile back at him, slipping her hand into his.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Of course. And do not worry. Whatever you wish to be here, it is my job to make sure you are exactly that.
You seem like a really nice man. I don't believe that you just make everybody's wishes come true. You're like a fairy godmother.
No. Just an elf with a lot of money.
What's money?
Well, I think here, as an artist, you will find money quite familiar to you. Come, schoolhouses.
Can you eat it?
No, but you exchange it for food, goods, and services. It's a currency.
That makes sense.
Yes. Now, don't dally. There's much to be taught, much to learn, much to become. You can see as he sort of gets outside, he takes an insane amount of pride in his work as he takes a step back, and for a moment you can see almost the whole city, each sparkling factory, each beautiful shop front. There are pools of water and a small, very contained beachfront. And you can see a church, a mausoleum, an acropolis, a bustling city center. And he says, "Welcome to the city of Daedalus, where we always learn tomorrow." Sort of holds his arms out front, showing off his city, as he would call it. And with that, we will end things, resolving this little story with Audrey finally reaching the city of Daedalus with a promise of reunion in a year's time. Bye, YouTube.